Good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat podcast. We're happy to have all of you on this afternoon. Those who are listening on WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio, we've got 100.5 FM out of Labby in Grenville, and other stations who have tuned into the Heartbeat today. We also wish to welcome those who are on the NDC Facebook feed and also on YouTube. So, welcome to another NDC episode for another beautiful Sunday afternoon in Grenada. We will be having the Honorable Andy Williams on the set today. Matter of fact, he'll be virtual. He is tempered just for a day or two out of Grenada, but he certainly will be on. He's also the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. So what we want to do, first of all, while we await Minister Andy Williams, we want to share with you, I'm sure, most of you are already aware, but just to be conscious of the massive devastation that took place in Jamaica through the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Most of you may be a little bit emotional because it may remind you of our experiences here in Grenada. But we wish to share this with you and to also let you know that the government of Grenada, under the leadership of Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, took an early decision to rescue 24 Grenadian students from Jamaica by chartering a private flight last Friday night. And they arrived Grenada at about close to 3 a.m. on Saturday morning. And they were in great joy to be out of Jamaica. The parents were really elated, and it just goes to show the empathy, the concern and care of this administration. But what we'll do is just share with you some excerpts, a little clipping of what has taken place in Jamaica, and just continue to bear and keep Jamaica in your prayers as they go through this devastating experience. So stay with us. Back with you in a moment.
90% of roots. That will be your estimate.
Yeah.
About 90% of roots. After today's assessment. Heavy the snow. Lifting this here.
This is new work. New work. Yeah, these are brand new. These are put up in bed. After bed.
The poles are up.
Yeah. They come up with the pole. They does a bunch of poles. Richie, you have any? The bushmark, yeah, the bushmark. Luxury. Before you reach the program. Oh, you're not bad. See the big thing. I don't know if you want to.
So we walk around.
Yeah, walk around instead of through the wall.
Oh. And that.
Looking at all nothing to us in Kingston.
Nothing.
But you have passed.
I see that. I want to thank all of you for your service. I know it's Must have been a harrowing experience.
Very, very. The most terrifying experience in all my life, and I would not want to see it again.
But you don't report any loss of life.
Thank God. God has been good to us.
Not because of the scope. But obviously, the care that you have taken in protecting the patients would have been I don't know if you have had an opportunity to see the rest of the film, but certainly you would have heard.
We're not sure what's going on at home. Many of us don't know what is happening to our children, our parents, because we are here. We are here.
We just can't hear anything from them. Yeah, we have no movement.
Before the current go when I come out. Exactly. I don't think none of us are competent enough to describe what happened. It is beyond imagining. We can't really imagine. At one point you would think that you have some missiles just letting go in the glass. You just see things just going here, there, glass, boom. And in spite of everything, patients are there to take care of. Even after the storm, we have emergencies using lanterns and flashlights. But God has been good to us.
So what we're doing now is the initial assessment of the damage. We have with us the acting Chief of Defense Staff and Brigadier Williams as well. And they are doing their assessment that will feed into ADPEN. Hopefully by tomorrow we will have cleared the routes in the Black River because they're all blocked now. There's no traffic that can come in vehicular from outside. As I'm seeing, some of your transmission towers are down, so telecommunications will be affected. Of course, almost all of your electrical grid is down.
Is that one
So this is the
No,
doctor.
that's what we're trying to do now. We're doing an assessment to see where we need to put what equipment to move. I know it's rough. I know it's rough for me, but yeah, I have to hold it out now. All right? I have to just hold it out. By tomorrow, however, roads will be open. That's what we're working on. That is something that we could.
Yeah, I can talk to the road bus service once you can get in people definitely.
Yeah.
Welcome back to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat podcast. Let me apologize especially to our radio listeners. That clip which we showed of the devastation in Jamaica, the audio was just, really, really bad. And we do apologize for the hissing song that you'll be hearing. Of course, those who are online would have seen the images of the damages that had taken place in Jamaica through the passage of Hurricane Melissa. We do have virtually right now the Honorable Andy Williams, Minister for MIT. He's also the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, and we'll be chatting with him on several matters, the NDC, his constituency, and other matters of national interest. So welcome to the Heartbeat once again, Minister. It's a pleasure to have you, albeit virtually, wherever you are. Trust that you are safe and well. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it's always a pleasure to be on a Heartbeat program, Terry. Pleasure.
Fantastic. Wonderful. We had to share this video earlier on because we were having some technical challenges and so forth. So we took the opportunity to share this filler with the general public. But the audio throughout was not really good. But I just want to remind Jamaicans of the devastation that has taken place in Jamaica, and to please keep the government and people of Jamaica in their prayers. Minister, I know you were not too long ago in Jamaica, and share with us just a little bit of your thoughts regarding this recent hurricane that hit Jamaica, and how have you resonated with your colleagues out there?
Well, a hurricane is never an easy thing, Terry and Grenada. We had our share. Recently, Ivan Emily, Beryl, and we know it's not an easy thing at all. So it's always heartbreaking when our brothers and sisters are hit with such devastation. The thing about us as a region is that sometimes it is so hard to build in the Caribbean because you can make 10 steps forward and all it takes is just one hurricane to come and bring you 12 steps backwards. And seeing that Jamaica just had its election and I can see that they were on a forward trajectory. Now this hurricane came and will push them, much further back. Just some days ago, someone was telling me of the assistance that they were getting from the CRIF in terms of to help them with the development. And I can tell you, Terry, from our experience in Grenada, that it doesn't matter you get monies from insurance, it will never be enough to assist you in a way that you want to pay back for the country. So all in all, it will be a hard hit for them and the government and the citizens. They will have some tough days ahead, and we empathize with them and we sympathize with them also. What we are doing from our end is to try and see what assistance we can give from a government level and also from our citizens to our Caribbean brothers in Jamaica. And not just us, but the Caribbean. And it is in times like these that we have to come together as a people to help our brothers and sisters in our neighboring islands. So all in all, my heart goes out to the people of Jamaica. And I know that they are resilient people. I was there some weeks ago, and the people of Jamaica are really lovely. They are very resilient, I must say. And I expect nothing, less than them coming together to really build back Jamaica to the way it was before. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much indeed. With the experiences you have gained through the various hurricanes that you have experienced, and indeed, Hurricane Beryl has put you to the test and has put your government to the test. I'm sure Jamaica themselves, they too have gone through several hurricanes during their time. So we can only wish them the very best and to call upon Grenadians, not just locally, those also in the diaspora, to think of the Jamaican brothers and sisters out there who are in need at this point in time. While we at it, tell me about the decision process of government in making this bold decision, a very expensive one, in chartering a private aircraft to rescue 24 Grenadian students out of Jamaica. I am sure you are part of this decision-making process, and I'm almost certain it was not a very difficult one.
No, it was not, because as a cabinet, we thought it was necessary to get our students out. There's no amount of money can compensate for the lives of our people. And even though they would have been in a safe place in Jamaica, that storm was so strong that no one knew the limit of that storm or hurricane. So we took no chance. We got them out and we put them in a safe place where they are back, And, Terry, there's a saying that prevention is better than cure.
Yep.
So we thought it was necessary for us to take the steps to really secure our students at the end of the day. Yeah, to have them in a safe place, have them back home so that their families can feel more at peace. Yeah. So all in all, it was not a hard one for us. As a unit, as a cabinet team, we decided that the best thing to do was to get them back. And we took the steps to have them back here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimati, so that they can be in a safer place at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and the reunification with the parents, friends and family in Grenada, indeed, was a very touching one, as I witnessed some of them at the airport Saturday morning as the flight touched down at about 2:45 a.m. And there were several parents there, friends, to meet them, and it was really, really a touching moment. But what was even more touching is the expressions of gratitude to the government of Grenada in moving so quickly in making arrangements in chartering a private plane to rescue them. There are about 5 or 6 Grenadian students that did not make it out to the airport from, I think, Montego Bay area, simply because it was just not possible for them to get there as a result of damages and so forth sustained already. So it was really, really a touch and go. And for those who spoke publicly at the airport, students and parents, they really were in high praises for Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and his cabinet for having taken that bold decision in a very quick time so that they could get themselves organized and head out to the airport to get onto that private plane. So congratulations.
As a matter of fact, some other governments were being criticized for not getting their people out in a timely manner.
Yes.
So you see, like if other countries were jealous of us in terms of what we did, but we thought it was necessary to do that, to do just that, get them out, because we don't want them to be in that situation and you hear lives are lost or something negative happened. Those that remained, we got in contact with most of them, and we could tell you that they are doing okay, and we will continue to provide whatever support that we can to help them that remained in Jamaica. So all in all, we are really working, doing our best to ensure that our students are comfortable at the end of the day.
Fantastic. As you rightfully put it, nothing else matters.
No.
And of course, the cost of that charter flight did not deter Prime Minister and his team whatsoever.
No. We looked at the bigger picture.
Fantastic. Wonderful indeed. Well, let's now go to the Great South. What is happening in the Great South? I have to ask you just one simple question about the condition of the roads, and oh boy, those potholes with the excavation works that have taken place to lay the pipes. There's a lot of concerns about that condition. But where there is progress, there must be sacrifices. Tell us about that, and what are the plans to kind of mitigate, the present condition that exists?
So this project is part of the UKSIF project, one, again, that I've been speaking about on a regular basis, right? $70 million EC project, where we are going to be changing the pipeline from Point Saline, go straight to the tunnel, and that will affect the tongue of St. George and the St. George South constituency. And so basically we will be changing the lines, and in doing so you have to dig, you have to, take out and replace. And the guys are working at night so that the work can be done faster with less interruption. They normally will give Friday night and Saturday night a break, because that's when most people will be on the road on the weekends, and they will start back or continue on Sunday night. Now, we have a deadline to complete this project by. It is February of next year. Otherwise, we will lose the funding. So we are really trying our best to ensure that we do as much as possible to get those lines done during that period. So you will have interruptions. You will have, even I drive on the road and I can tell you it's not the best experience, but it's just a small sacrifice, to make for a bigger investment, Terry and Grenada. But I can tell you in January, we plan to start repaving the roads in January. So, just bear with us for now. But the intention is when January starts, we will start paving from the Point Saline Airport to the Lansopine area, goes up to the Springs, where the Cliff project has started. And also, we will also go from the Mount Bishop Highway back down to the tunnel. So we plan to repave all those roads starting in January, if all goes well. Now, these roads have not been worked on a serious manner in years. As a matter of fact, if you look at the sidewalk on those roads, it is the same size, it's the same level with the road. It goes to show you that every time you have an issue with the road, we keep on patching until it builds up to the sidewalk. So what we plan to do is to not just repave the roads, but to put sidewalks also on those roads to make it more safer for folks that are walking and even folks that are driving too, because Terry and Grenada, about 2 years ago, we had an incident where Mr. McIntyre's son lost his life on the highway. Yeah? On that highway, by bulk by there's no sidewalk at all. So we need to repave, put sidewalks, even in Gannans Valley. There's a part in Gannans Valley opposite Iowa Shop, going on to Lala Supermarket.
Yeah.
There's no sidewalk, and people walk in the road.
Yep.
No, I mean, we do not have much incident where people got bunks or so, but I'm saying it's just a disaster waiting to happen. And we recognize that we have to fix that. Yeah, and we will be widening the roads where needed, because again, we have to cater not just for today, but for 10, 20, 30 years down the line. And we are doing just that. And that's our aim, not just to put back what was there, but improving on what was there. That's what we are about as an administration. So
Right.
I just want to ask users to just to bear a little bit of patience, just bear with us. Better days are coming. You will love the wonderful road when it comes. But just for now, we are going through that phase, where we have to just bear this little inconvenience still. But all in all, Terry and Grenada, this project is all aimed at improving our water infrastructure in the south of the island. Yeah. Now, when you have, for example, like last year, you had a serious drought, and the south got affected the most. So this UKSIF project will help Nawasa to improve the water flow from the dams to the south, which I think will be of great benefit to us as a people. But not just in the south. If you look, Nawasa is spending, you talk about the GCRUISE project that they are doing in the rural part of the island, coupled with the UKSIF project. Terry, I can tell you that is the most amount of monies that has been spent in improving the water infrastructure in Grenada. Water is life. We cannot live without water. Even you talk about Montrouge and Guanca Hill, we are putting a tank up there again. The tank is almost complete. And places where could not have gotten water before will now be able to get water. Yeah. So all in all, we are seeing improvement. We are seeing the transformation in the water distribution network and so throughout Grenada. And we are poised to move our country forward in that manner. And at the end of the day, all our citizens will benefit. Places that could not have, get water before on the hills and so Terry will not be able to get water because of the investment we are making now with regards to water in Grenada. So hats off to Nawasa, hats off to the Ministry of Infrastructure for the wonderful job that they are doing. And we will see the benefits in years to come, Terry. Or in a few months, we will see the benefit of it.
Absolutely. Please take this opportunity just to remind our listeners and viewers about the challenges faced to have gotten back this UKSIF funding, because people tend to forget quickly.
No, that funding was on a book since 2016. So all these interruptions that we are facing now, that project should have been implemented a long time ago, right? What happened, Terry and Grenada, is that the project was not started. The project was, to me, forgotten. And as a result, we almost lost the funding. But we lost the funding because 6 years passed, there was no implementation. And the UK government decided to take back the funds. It took Prime Minister to really negotiate on our part to get back that funds. It was $80 million in total, a grant of $80 million. $10 million was for the Western Corridor Road, and $70 million was for the Southern Water Expansion Project. We got back the $70 million for the Southern Water Expansion Project, and that's why we are now at the implementation stage. That is why also we have to spend the funds by February of next year. And I remember going to Parliament 2 years ago, and Dr. Modest, when we said we got back the money, she made a statement to the fact that, we got back the money, but if we are going to implement it. And I said to them at the time that we will ensure that we implement this project in a timely manner. And they got 6 years to implement. They did nothing. We got back that project in 2023, right? And we are in 2025 right now, and we are talking about finishing that project next year. That just goes to tell you how much effort we put into making sure that this project is implemented in a timely manner, because we see the benefit it can bring to the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. So all in all, we are trying our best, because we cannot make $80 million in grant funding slip away from our hands. Yeah, this is not what we aim for. We aim for excellence, and in doing so, we saw that the benefit of this project, and Terry and Grenada, we could not let that pass. We had to go back, get the funding, and ensure that now we are talking about finishing implementation of the project.
Great. Well, congratulations again on this matter. And it's important to remind our citizenry out there, both locally and those in the diaspora, of the great efforts made by Prime Minister and his team in attracting this funding back to Grenada. Must have taken quite a bit of negotiations.
Yes.
Before we move off on the road aspect, the road projects taking place now with the laying of the pipes. Coming back to the same, but there are hundreds of holes in the road now. Is it possible that the contractor can use maybe a small bobcat where they would just lay down some tiff or probably some fine gravel and just do a scrape maybe once a day or once every 2-3 days? Because those bumps are really, really huge now with the heavy rains we had recently. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, we had a meeting with them, and exactly what you suggested, that was suggested to them also. And they were open to the idea, and they will be taking some action on that starting next week and week after. So you can see some improvements in that respect. What we don't want to do is to spend double money in terms of going and fix that part, and in a few weeks we have to go and rip it up again, to do a proper job.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course.
And that's the case. You will not be using our taxpayers' money wisely.
Yeah.
So while we see the need for the short term, we are also bent on seeing how quick we can start implementing the long-term measures by actually completing the work on that road, starting in a timely manner. So you will see that.
Great.
And
fantastic.
Yeah, Terry.
All right. Okay. Well, what else is happening in the Great South?
Well, I've seen the time is moving fast, right?
Indeed.
So
indeed.
let me try to get in as much as possible. In the Great South, I want to invite all Grenadians to visit the license center. I will prepare a tour in the coming weeks so we can see exactly what it looks like. I think, Terry, I was there last week, and when I saw what that building looked just last year, and it was in that state for over 20 years, it broke my heart. When you see the state of that building now, it's a completely different place. And this is where we want to put our new health center in the south. And we want to put a fire station in the south too, in that area. But I want citizens to come and take a look at it to see the wonderful works that are taking place there. In addition to that, we have a basketball competition going on the Grandstand Court, right? And I want to ask all our people to support our young men in that basketball competition. At night, I pass here. I see people there, but we need more people to come and look at them. Because sometimes when our young men falter, everyone has something to say. But when they are involved in positive things, we stay away from it. So I'm asking everyone, tonight, there's a game tonight. Come tonight on the Grandand's basketball court and take a look at our young men playing basketball. I think they will love your support. And Terry, that is just part of a bigger initiative in terms of promoting sports in my constituency. We have placed lights in Montrouge, in the Lines, in Springs, and we are the next place we are going to place lights is in Montou Pasture. And the idea is to give our young men and women the avenue to play more sports and to be involved in more sports. And I think sports is a good thing to be involved in because it provides discipline. And as young men and women, that is very vital, in developing character. So as long as I am the MP for the Great South, I will ensure that I support our young men and women in any sporting initiative that they ask me to assist with. And you can see that I'm not just talking the talk, but I'm also, showing it or backing it up by actions, right?
Fantastic.
We have sponsored a lot of cricket competition, football competition, basketball competitions, road races, right? Just name it. So I just want to encourage the public to come out and support our young men and women when they are involved in these sporting activities. In addition, we continue to educate our young men and women in the constituency by providing electrical classes. That's in Telfa's school.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about our young women and men too, academically, we have just trained assisted about 40 young people, men and women, in Gray's Academy. That's where they go to, to further their education. Because we understand that education is the gateway out of poverty, Terry, and we see that we have a lot of examples to show to back up that statement. So sometimes it's not just about the roads and the buildings, but it's about investment in people, and I believe in that. Just last week, we were able to give some cricket gears to the GBSS, Grandin School, Cady School, name it. So South St. George Government School, that's Spring School. And our Prime Minister, through Mr. Dangote, we are able to get the gears to distribute to our students. And again, it's investment in them. So Terry and Grenada, we are doing our best. I mean, I can go on and on as to all that we are doing in terms of the Great South to better the lives of our people. But I'll stop there for a minute because I want to talk about the party for a while, if you don't mind.
Well, let us just take a short break while you look into that, and we'll be right back in a moment.
Thank you.
Attention everyone! Join us for a night to remember at the NDC Florida Chapter's 3rd anniversary celebration on Saturday, November 8th. Indulge in a delicious buffet-style meal for just $100 and mingle with friends and fellow supporters as we celebrate our achievements. Our esteemed guest of honor, political leader, and Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell will be there to share his insights. Get ready for a vibrant Caribbean cultural experience at the MOV Fusion Bar and Grill, located at 4575 North Pine Island Road. Enjoy performances from Alba Boy, Posh, and Anila Welch Miller that will keep you entertained all night long. It's a semi-formal affair, so dress to impress. Mark your calendars for Saturday, November 8th and be part of an unforgettable evening.
The NDC Canada chapter presents its pre-Christmas dinner and dance, happening on Saturday, November 15, 2025, at the Church of the Nativity Banquet Hall, Malvern, 10 Seawells Road, Scarborough. Come and enjoy a delicious mouth-watering buffet dinner served at 6 p.m., followed by an evening of music, laughter, and dancing, with music by DJ Ambi and Selector Vibes. Tickets are only $75. And yes, there'll be raffles and lots of door prizes to win. It's a pre-Christmas celebration and fundraiser, all in support of moving Grenada forward. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today. Call Kingsley at 416-209-6226, Julian at 647-561-4350, or Louise at 905-865-1027. E-transfer payments will be accepted. The 2024 NDC Women's Arm Dinner was outstanding. Guests were treated to live music from our talented police band, and dinner was not only delicious, but also set a stunning ambience. Everyone danced the night way, creating an unforgettable experience. Mark your calendars now for this essential fundraiser on November 29th. The theme for the night is Back to Africa. Get ready for an evening of pure elegance. Don't hesitate. Secure your tickets today to benefit from our early bird pricing.
Welcome back to the NDC Heartbeat podcast for today's Sunday. We have just another announcement before I invite Minister Andy Williams to return to the set. It's a town hall meeting taking place at the Wesley College on Wednesday, November 5th. It starts at 6 p.m. and the caretaker representative, Senator Claudette Joseph, will be there to welcome you. And the topic will be discussion on upcoming projects in that constituency. So it's a town hall meeting at the Wesley College in Queen's Park, St. George, and it starts at 6 p.m. And don't forget, it's Wednesday the 5th, 6 p.m., Wesley College, town hall meeting, Tonga St. George, discussion on upcoming projects. So welcome back to the NDC Heartbeat. Minister, it's always good to have you.
Yes, always
Welcome
good to
back.
be here. Thank
So
you.
we were chatting about the projects and so forth in the South, and you wish to continue in that vein. So
Yes,
share with us what else is happening down there.
right. No, I don't want to be greedy, Terry, and just talk about the South alone, right? But I want to reflect on the tunnel that just happened in the Look Cinema in Grenville, in St. Andrew.
Okay, right.
And when you look at the amount of assistance that and work that was done in those constituency, it's a lot, I must say. Yeah. And I want to make particular mention to St. Andrew Southeast, St. Andrew Northeast also. And in those areas, Senator David Andrew and caretaker Tessa Sincere, let me just remind people that they are not the MPs for those areas. They are not the MPs. And when I see the amount of work that has been done, I said to myself, imagine if they were the MP for the area. So I want to reach out to the folks in St. Andrew Southeast and St. Andrew Northeast that you are seeing people who are delivering even though that they are not an MP. And I want you to give them your support, because imagine if they were your MP, think about how much more can be done and would be done in those constituencies. When I see the housing assistance, the road assistance, the welfare assistance, all these things, you know, I can see, I see hats off to Tessa and hats off to Senator and Minister David Andrew for the wonderful work they are doing in that constituency. Telescope, they just got a new road, Telescope again. The lighting in the pasture has just been completed. Right, SAR School, they got a refurbishment on the basketball court, and even the lights in Progress Park. Look at how many years has passed, and nothing was done to put lights in Progress Park. And now you have lights at that park where our students can go and train and be involved in most sporting activity later on in the night. Even people who are working can go home, do their chores, and come back at night to exercise and do whatever it is that they want to do in that playing field. So all in all, I want to ask the people of St. Andrew Southeast to please support Senator David Andrew. St. Andrew Northeast, please support caretaker Tessa Sincere, because if you give them more leverage, more power, you will be benefiting more at the end of the day. And I just want to say this, that when we came into office in 2022, we did so with a clear commitment to deliver a better Grenada, one that works for everyone, not just a few. Our manifesto was not just a wish list, it was a plan, a blueprint for equity, sustainability, and prosperity. And today, I'm proud to say, Terry and Grenada, that we as a party and as a government, NDC, we are delivering. We promise a government that listens, that serves, that delivers results. And we are doing just that. First, we tackle one of the biggest issues facing our people, the pension crisis. For years, public servants worked hard and retired uncertain of their future. Under this NDC administration, that injustice was corrected. Pensions were paid. Our retirees can now live with dignity. Our public sector workers now, Terry, can boast of a pension plan so that when they retire, they are not retiring into poverty. Second, we reformed the pay system for our public workers, moving it to bi-weekly, something that was said by the opposition that could not be done. And we showed that we did it. That change may be simple, but for thousands of families, it means easier budgeting, more timely relief, and greater financial stability in these challenging times. Fourth, thirdly, Terry and Grenada, we have restored respect in industrial relations. If you notice, when we came into office, there were a lot of industrial action being taken against the government, from teachers to grain workers to TAMCC, name it. We have restored all of that. And today we are experiencing a smoother relationship between teachers, workers on a whole. As a matter of fact, you hardly hear about any industrial action that will be taken or wants to be taken against this government. But transformation doesn't stop there. The NDC is not just fixing problems. We are building a future for all Grenadians. We are working on a multi-year infrastructure program that will strengthen our roads, bridges, and public facilities. It's about ensuring that Grenada can compete in the region and in the world. We are also investing, Terry and Grenada, in climate resilience. Because as a small nation, we must protect our environment, our agriculture, our coastlines, and our national adaptation plan and sustainability programs are not just slogans. They are lifelines for generations to come. So it's not just about Terry and Grenada, about the physical, about what we see today, but it's about creating a platform for tomorrow. When we look at the teaching hospital that we want to break ground with next year, it's about creating a better healthcare system, not just for today, but for the future also. We have SGU right there, has been there for years. And if you ask me, with SGU being there, all the government that came never did anything to bridge a gap to better our healthcare system. And if we came in as an administration and ignored that, it means that we will be doing the same thing as the others, but we are different. Some may say it's pie in the sky, but it's the right way to think. It's a way forward. And I want to ask Grenadians, not just the NMP or the NDC, but everyone, the undecided, to just put politics aside for a while and look at what we are doing to improve our nation. You don't have to support us, but you can recognize when progress is being made for our country. And we are focused, Terry, we are focused, Grenada. We are also in plans of building some skill training centers so that our young men and women can be involved in more, not just the academics, but the skills, right? And we have Nulo, which is in St. John's. We have a branch in St. Andrew. We have TAMCC, but we want to improve that throughout all the different parishes on the island. And if we do that, we can create more opportunities for our young men and women. But not just to use or to talk about skills when they fail at school, but to include it in the curriculum at a primary and secondary level. I remember going to Palmer School years ago in the 80s, and Palmer had woodwork. And you know, I think that all the other schools, and not just Palmer, but to me, 40 years has passed. And what we should have seen was a continuation and more improvement in other schools, right, throughout those years. But what we saw a regression, a period where it did not go forward. It went backward, as a matter of fact. So we have to pay attention to that. As it stands now, unemployment rate is under 10%. It's 9.7%, right? That was in the second quarter of the year. This is the first time in Grenada history that the unemployment rate is so low.
Yep.
You have construction companies crying out for workers.
True.
You have companies crying out for workers. It shows you something, right? And what we have to do now is to transform the mindset of our people, not just in Grenada, but in the region, to a working mindset. What I see every day on the ground is that some folks are caught up into a hustle and not really in getting a long-term employment to better their lives. We have to change that mindset. Yeah, because a hustle may give you $1 today, but you may be hungry tomorrow. Yeah? So when we create a more sustainable employment, or you yourself look for more sustainable employment, it means that it may be a lower income, but you are getting a steady income every day that can help yourself and your family, and you can plan for the future also. But we understand, Terry, Grenada, that education, and I will repeat it again, is one of the most influential tools, right, that could take one out of poverty. That's why we reduce the tuition fees to TAMTC and ULO. Yeah, that's why we are offering all these scholarships. In the history of Grenada, there's no other time when our students are getting so much scholarships. Yeah, and we have to recognize that. So our party is not just Terry and Grenada looking at the infrastructure, but at the development of our people also. On a party level, we are building our own NDC Resource Center and headquarters in Calavini. This is not just about an office. It will be a hub for training, policy work, and youth and women engagement. It's a long-term investment in the movement that has brought hope back to our people. As an institution, and as General Secretary, it is important for us to educate Grenada as to what our party stands for. Yeah? In doing so, we are adamant to build a headquarters for our party so that people can come in. And when you join the party, you're not just joining the NDC, but you're joining an organization. And it is important for you to know the history of that organization. That is what will create the values in you. And that is what will align people to our values at the end of the day. So that when you join this party, you know you are joining an institution that is not just, about anything, but an institution that stands for something. So, to proceed, we are strengthening our presence in every constituency. I met with all the constituencies in the last 2 weeks. We did an evaluation, and we are poised to move forward. We are building our donkey. We are reaching new voters, and we are ensuring that the NDC remains connected to the people's pulse. Yes, Terry.
All right. Apologies. Let me just take 1 sec to say goodbye to those listening on radio, because time has caught up with us. We will certainly continue our conversation, but just to thank those who listened today on WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio 100.5 FM out of Labby in Grenville. We want to thank you and to invite you to join us online, either on Facebook or YouTube. We will be continuing with the Honorable Andy Williams a bit more on this platform. So thank you, and see you again. Join us again next week. So you were saying, Minister, please, let's continue.
Right. So all in all, I'm saying that our work is far from done. Yeah. We know that challenges remain in the economy, in housing, in youth employment, which we have seen tremendous improvement in, but we are not standing still. Our focus is on building capacity, delivering consistently, and keeping our promises.
Right.
Transformation takes time, but it is happening, brick by brick, reform by reform. The NDC remains committed to the same principles that brought us here: good governance, transparency, fairness, and opportunity for all. So, friends supporters, enemies, right? Just joking about the enemies part, but just saying that when we as the NDC are united, the NDC wins and Grenada wins. When we stay focused, progress follows. Grenada is changing, not by accident, but by action. And as we continue this journey, I want every Grenadian to know that this government belongs to you. This progress is for you. And this future is ours together. Now, I want to address something, Terry, because, when you go to different communities, you will pick up on things, right? And sometimes we stay silent on these things, but I want to address it head on this program today. I understand that some people may be feeling disappointed or overlooked because you may not have received the assistance that you hope for as yet. I want you to know that your concerns are heard and your commitment to this movement is deeply valued. But let's take a moment to reflect on why we are here and what we are building together. Our mission has never been to help a few. It has always been about transforming Grenada for the benefit of all Grenadians. The NDC stands for fairness, opportunity, progress, and that each and every corner of our nation, we try to do our best to assist. But it's not just for today, Terry, it's for generations. Building a better Grenada takes time, planning and sacrifice. We are laying the foundation for a future where every child can dream, every family can strive, and every citizen has a fair chance. This requires patience and unity. The road may not always be easy, but every effort we make is bringing us closer to that vision. So I ask all who support this party, who are undecided, to stand with us, not just for the personal gain, but for the love of country. And the belief that Grenada best days are ahead. I urge you to let us move forward with a renewed purpose, understanding, and that the real reward is a stronger, more united, and more prosperous nation for all. Together, all of us together can build this country. So sometimes we get caught up on just what is in it for us. But I want to say to everyone here that when we make a better Grenada, we are making a better Grenada for each and every one of us. We may make sacrifices now for our children and grandchildren down the line. And if you believe that this government is the best government for Grenada, it means that sometimes you have to put aside the little personal thing and let's think about what we can do for our country. You look at Singapore, some years ago was one of the poorest countries in the world, to be now one of the richest countries in the world. And Singapore is only twice the size of Grenada. It means that they would have made the sacrifices long ago so that their people now, their children and grandchildren now can benefit today from those sacrifices that they made before. So I just want to urge everyone this is not a time to be divided. This is a time to come together. This is a time when our family will say, you know what, guys, let's put what we have to put aside and let's come together as a unit so that we can be stronger. As the saying says that unity is strength. And I want to urge every NDC member, right? We know that this party is the best party for our country. And it is important for us to come together and ensure that we do our best to move the agenda of our government and our party forward. Because at the end of the day, Grenada will benefit. So, and I want to just, at this moment, just say, thank you to all the executives and all the branches that are really working to support the MPs and the constituencies. I've been going around to the different branches and what we have seen is remarkable. Terry, I've seen some reports lately on some polls, and I can tell you that we are not taking things for granted. We are not, right? We are not taking things for granted. And we are doing our best to ensure that we even strengthen our branches and our party as we go along. And And I want to encourage everyone who are listening to not just stay by the sideline and listen, but to get active, right? Get people registered. Get them registered. Get them registered. Yeah? And even the younger ones too, not just leave them to, just to stay by the sideline, but to get them involved in this process and get them, into a state where they can start thinking about country and what they can do to build their country. And the only way that they can do that is start getting involved, number one, by registering. So I want to urge every NDC supporter here today, even if you're undecided, get registered. Let's go on this journey together so that we can make Grenada a better place, not just for us, but for our children and our grandchildren in years to come.
Thank you very much, Minister, for these updates. Before we close the program, can you just give us an update on the Build Back Better initiative, that program? How is it going?
Right. So it's taking place in Carriacou and Grenada. One of the challenges we had, Terry, we have it in Grenada and Carriacou, is that, when some of the houses that were damaged by Hurricane Beryl, when we went to build back, you had issues, you had a lot of land issues, right? So one of the houses may be on certain land on a property, but the property did not belong to the person whose house that was on it. So that was one of the things that, for example, you go to Carriacou and you may see some houses that are not fixed as yet. And there are a lot of land issues that we have to rectify first before we can even go to fixing those houses. Yeah. Our ministry has been working tirelessly to ensuring that we build back, for people that got affected by Beryl. Some did not get the build back better. Some got the special houses because of the land space and all these things. So then the build back was too big to put on their property. So we had to combine efforts in the build back better houses and the special houses. Yeah. So all in all, we have done a lot. And we continue to do. Everything now will be challenged through the Ministry of Housing because we created a Ministry of Housing just to deal with all the housing issues. Before you had MIT, so you have social development, you have, different housing program. So we created a Ministry of Housing so that everything can be filtered through that ministry going forward. So we continue to help our people. I can tell you that in the history of Grenada, this is the time when you see the most housing assistance is being given. And I can tell you, Terry, the more you give, is the more you see people coming forward for assistance. But we are trying our best. We are trying our best as a government to help our people. We understand that we cannot give everyone a house, or we cannot help everyone, but we are trying to do what we can do at the same time, So it's a work in progress, and we continue to assist our people as we go forward.
Has there been a macro development plan initiated to really determine the number of homes that we really need throughout Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique?
Yes, so the Ministry of Housing is doing that. Let me just say that. The Ministry of Housing is doing that. And not just houses, but we also did a study because we want to eradicate pit latrine, right? Our aim is to eradicate pit latrine and to give everyone the dignity of having an inside bathroom and toilet. That's our aim. And that's why we started the WASH program. In St. Andrew, the WASH program is really doing its best to help our people. Telescope, other places. We just had a closing ceremony, and it highlighted how much people got assistance from the WASH program. So we continue to do that. We continue to, to spend and to invest in a proper bathroom and toilet for our people. In my constituency, we did a lot of bathroom and toilets, for our people in my constituency, which I'm very proud of. So the Ministry of Housing is doing just that, but we are not just dependent on them. We are also taking steps from, let's say, the nation buildings side of it to ensure that we, not just the housing, but the bathroom and toilet, water connection for people. Because sometimes in the past, what would have happened is that someone would have gotten a bachman toilet with no water. Then you have a bachman toilet, but you cannot use it because if you have no water, you cannot flush, you cannot do anything. So with the WASH program, we have an arrangement with NAWASA where we can help people get the water connection so that they can use the bachman toilet at the end of the day. So yes, we are working on it. And Terry, let me just make this point as I'm about to close. Sometimes someone may value you giving them a $20, a $50, a $100. I may not value you giving them a bachman toilet. And that's why I'm saying some of our mindset have to change. Because someone give you $100 today, it finishes tomorrow. But someone give you a bachman toilet with water connections, Terry, you cannot put a value on that. You know?
True.
So all in all, our strategy is not just to give people a fish for today, but to teach them how to fish and give them something that will improve their life, not just today, but tomorrow and weeks and months and years to come. That's our approach. Sometimes we get bashing for doing it, but we know at the end of the day, this will put our people in a better position going forward. They may not realize it now, but in years to come, they may realize, hey, this government really cared for me.
Absolutely so indeed. Well, thank you very much indeed, Minister. It's been a pleasure. I know we had some challenges with technical matters and so forth just before you joined, so we do apologize about that. And
No problem.
our listeners who had the issue, well, they didn't have the issue. We had an issue with respect to audio with the clip which we showed with the damages out in Jamaica. We apologize about that. So before we close the program, let me invite you to give your closing remarks at this time. And we therefore invite you now to share.
Yes, so I just want to encourage everyone to really support us as an administration. We are doing our best to move forward as a party. As General Secretary, I'm trying my best to build our party, involving the diaspora and every branch in Greater Carriacou and PD Martinique. In the upcoming weeks and months, you will see our presence more on the ground. And what we are doing is to build an organization, not just for politics, but also one that cares about you and one that we can have a nice camaraderie and a nice relationship with, right? Because, and one that we can all identify and share the ideology, because at the end of the day, an organization is defined as a group of people working together to achieve one common goal. So we have to know exactly what the goal is. And when all of us know what that goal is, we cannot channel our energy into ensuring that that goal is further moved at the end of the day. So all in all, I want to really thank our supporters and everyone who has shown us the love and continue to give us the support to move forward. We, as an administration and party, we really, Terry, want to transform this island. And if you notice, we are not engaged in gutter politics. That's not our style. Our style is a cleaner type of politics, a politics where one can be more level-headed and one can join in the plan to improve or to move our country in the forward direction. That is why we are focusing on the hospital, on skill training, on energy. Yeah, Terry? And that is why, again, Terry, we are trying to make education free for our young people, because we understand a nation that educates its people is poised to move forward and is unstoppable at the end of the day. So all in all, thank you very much, folks. Just thank you for all the love. And to my constituency, you will be seeing me this week on the ground, next week on the ground, more and more. Although I get tired sometimes, but I understand that, that you are the heartbeat of my constituency, and I'm here to serve you at the end of the day. So it's a privilege to do just that. And thank you for all the love and support. St. George, so that you continue to show me and Greater Carriacou and PD Martinique. Thank you also.
Thank you very much indeed, Honorable Andy Williams. He's the Minister responsible for MIT. He's also the General Secretary for the National Democratic Congress. Thank you for being part of the Heartbeat today, and to thank all our listeners and viewers, and just to remind the folks in the Tongue of St. George in particular of the Tongue Hall meeting, which takes place Wednesday, 5th of November, starts at 6 p.m. at the Wesley College. That's at the Queen's Park on Wednesday, 5th November, starting 6 p.m. A discussion, a town hall meeting, which will focus on upcoming projects within the constituency of the Tongue of St. George. So, thank you all for being part of the Heartbeat today, and join us again next Sunday when we have other interesting and intellectual discourse taking place on the Heartbeat. Thank you, and have a great Sunday afternoon. Goodbye now.
The 2024 NDC Women's Arm Dinner was outstanding. Guests were treated to live music from our talented police band, and dinner was not only delicious, but also set a stunning ambience. Everyone danced the night away, creating an unforgettable experience. Mark your calendars now for this essential fundraiser on November 29th. The theme for the night is Back to Africa. Get ready for an evening of pure elegance. Don't hesitate. Secure your tickets today to benefit from our early bird pricing.
Attention everyone! Join us for a night to remember at the NDC Florida Chapter's 3rd anniversary celebration on Saturday, November 8th. Indulge in a delicious buffet-style meal for just $100 and mingle with friends and fellow supporters as we celebrate our achievements. Our esteemed guest of honor, political leader, and Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell will be there to share his insights. Get ready for a vibrant Caribbean cultural experience at the MOV Fusion Bar and Grill, located at 4575 North Pine Island Road. Enjoy performances from Alba Boy, Posh, and Anila Welch Miller that will keep you entertained all night long. It's a semi-formal affair, so dress to impress. Mark your calendars for Saturday, November 8th, and be part of an unforgettable evening.
The NDC Canada chapter presents its pre-Christmas dinner and dance, happening on Saturday, November 15, 2025, at the Church of the Nativity Banquet Hall, Malvern, 10 Seawells Road, Scarborough. Come and enjoy a delicious mouth-watering buffet dinner served at 6 p.m., followed by an evening of music, laughter, and dancing, with music by DJ Ambi and Selector Vibes. Tickets are only $75, and yes, there'll be raffles and lots of door prizes to win. It's a pre-Christmas celebration and fundraiser, all in support of moving Grenada forward. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today. Call Kingsley at 416-209-6226, Julian at 647-561-4350, or Louise at 905-865-1027. E-transfer payments will be accepted.